At least 3 people were killed, including a 5-year-old child, after Russia launched a barrage of drones targeting Kiev overnight on Sunday, according to local Ukrainian officials and emergency services. There is no point in talking to Russia, Kyiv resident Ihor Vasylchenko said, who lives in one of the damaged apartment buildings. He said any agreement with the Russian not worth the cost of the paper where you put your signature. Russia is not afraid of anything, Vasylchenko added. According to Assosicted Press, the attack on the Ukrainian capital came ahead of ceasefire negotiations in Saudi Arabia, in which Ukraine and Russia are expected to hold indirect US-mediated talks on Monday to discuss a pause in long-range attacks targeting energy facilities and civilian infrastructure. The Ukrainian delegation is expected to meet with US officials in Saudi Arabia a day ahead of the indirect talks, Ukrainian President Voldoymyr Zelenskyy said. Ukraine is planning to send technical teams to discuss the details of the partial ceasefire. Extended sounds of explosions were heard in the early hours of Sunday as the air raid blared for over 5 hours. Russian drones and debris from shot-down drones, which were flying at lower altitudes to evade air defenses, fell on residential buildings. At night, the rumble of an approaching Shahed drone was heard. All I could do was pray that it would fly somewhere else, Yulia Dunayeva, a mother of 2, said while waiting outside a newly built apartment building which was also hit by the overnight attack. According to Ukraine's Kyiv City Military Administration, 3 people were killed, and 10 others were injured. Residential buildings in the districts of Dnipro and Podil caught fire, while in Holosiivskyi, another fire broke out in a warehouse and office building, killing people. I have bad feelings. I don't want this to go on, it shall end with negotiations, another Kiev resident, Dmytro Zapadnya said. We hope that everything will end and there will be peace in our country, he added.
Я можу сказати єдине, що давно було сказано, з Росією немає якогось сенсу розмовляти, тому що вони завжди брешуть. Що вони не обіцяли, це тільки обіцянки. Ніколи вони не будуть дотримуватися все, що вони казали. І це вже не один десяток і сотень років, як це кажуть, що немає сенсу з ними нічого підписувати, тому що це не буде коштувати, вартувати навіть тої бумаги, на якому це буде всі договори підписуватися. Єдине, що не дуже приємно, що зараз Сполучені Штати так якось, мабуть, не дуже розуміють нашу ситуацію. Я розумію, що миру як такого не буде, тому що, дивіться, немає гарантій. Росія нічого не боїться.
Вночі близько 1-ї години було чути гул наближаючого шахеда. Я вже чітко відчувала, що він летить прямісінько до нашого будинку по звуку. Залишалося тільки молитися, щоб десь пролетів повз.
Погані відчуття і не дуже хочеться, щоб це все продовжувалося. Хай вже завершується, не знаю, перемовинами. Ну, в будь-якому випадку, напевно, ж должно воно завершитися якимись перемовинами. Ну, чекаємо, що ми можемо зробити. Надіємося, що все закінчиться і буде мир у нас в країні.
Ukrainian forces have advanced into Russia's Belgorod Oblast, while Russian forces gained ground in several areas of Donetsk Oblast, according to a report published by the Institute for the Study of War, ISW. For months, Russia has been pushing to capture the remaining parts of Donetsk Oblast in eastern Ukraine, with a focus on Pokrovsk, Kurakov, Chasiv Yar, and other Ukrainian strongholds. Pokrovsk has been the focal point of Russia's ground assaults. Currently, the Russian incremental gains mostly stalled or even reversed in the areas where the Ukrainian troops counterattack and reclaim their previously lost positions. The US-based think tank reported that Ukrainian forces recently advanced south and southwest of Demidovka, located along the international border northwest of Belgorod city. A Kremlin-affiliated Russian military blogger claimed that Ukrainian forces also advanced southwest of Grafovka, which is southeast of Demidovka. However, ISW noted that it is unclear if Ukrainian forces maintain these positions in Belgorod Oblast. Both Ukrainian and Russian forces made advances in the Pokrovsk direction. A Russian military blogger claimed that Ukrainian forces seized central Lysivka, northeast of Pokrovsk, and advanced to the outskirts of Dashensky, south of Pokrovsk. Center for Countering Disinformation of the National Security and Defense Council, Andrei Kovalenko, said that Russian occupiers have pulled equipment and fighters into the Belgorod region. This has become another threat to our border. In the Belgorod region, in a certain area, the Russians have accumulated equipment, fighters and UAV crews. Against the backdrop of the events in the Kursk region, this is a separate area that poses a threat to our border, Kovalenko said. At the same time, he added that Ukrainian defenders are destroying enemy forces. On Russian territory, strikes by the defense forces from the territory of Ukraine in particular are driving out these troops, destroying their equipment, destroying their crews, and neutralizing the threat to our border from the Belgorod region, he added. It was also reported that the Ukrainian armed forces could leave Kursk region as part of the agreement. Russia and Ukraine could conduct an exchange, military analyst Dmitry Snegirev believes. Mikhail Shitelman, an expert on politics and military actions, also commented on the possibility of a territorial exchange between Ukraine and Russia. In particular, he answered whether Ukraine could voluntarily give up part of the Kursk region in exchange for the withdrawal of Russian troops from the Kharkiv region.